Hey, Lee here, and welcome to the pull list for June 6, 2012, presented by LongboxRadio.com. This pull list is quite a few days late, and that's because we were in LA all of last week. We went to a Kings game, we went to E3, so we were busy, but we managed to hit up a comic book shop on the City Walk at Universal Studios, so if anyone's ever been there. Things from Another World, we picked up Avengers vs. X-Men 5, just because we couldn't wait to get our hands on this, and I picked up Animal Man trade paperback number 1, which is collecting the first 6 issues by Jeff Lemire. So super cool, looking forward to reading this. I didn't get a chance to. I did get a chance to read this on the trip, however, and X-Men fans should be pretty upset with what's going on in here. It's, I don't know, just a silly book. Thankfully, kind of everything will come full circle at the end, and apparently not mean anything, according to Marvel, so let's hope that happens, because what a silly book. So, first thing I did when I got back in town, of course, is hit up the comic book shop and let's see what I picked up from last week. So, we have Action Comics. This is number 10, coming to us from Grant Morrison, of course. I've dropped Superman at this point, but I am still picking up this book right here. That's all I really got to say about that. Before Watchmen actually started this week with Minutemen, and apparently it's been selling pretty well, and this is number 1 of 6. There you are, Darwin Cook, all over that thing. So, super cool. Looking forward to reading this. I've heard good things, so yeah. We have Earth 2, Issue 2, of course, coming to us from James Robinson, which is going to have our gay Alan Scott Green Lantern in there. So there's that. The first issue was super cool. This one, I'm assuming, is going to follow suit. Going on to Dial H, which is a book I'm staying with. Another one of the new 52 books. This is issue 2. A lot of cool, kooky characters there that our main protagonist might be changing into. So I do actually like this book. I know it's existed in other iterations before, and Mike Haynes definitely had a falling out with it. But I'm enjoying this book. So yeah. Moving on to Ferris, we have issue 4 here. Of course, awesome covers, awesome innards. The writing's been great. So enjoying Ferris. There's that. Swamp Thing coming to us from Scott Snyder. We don't have Yannick Paquette on art this time. We have Francisco. I'm not even going to hit that last name there, but there it is. And I believe Francisco's been doing some of the some art already in the book. Yannick Paquette hasn't been doing full books of Swamp Thing, so we're kind of used to it. And it's definitely channeling Paquette's art for Swamp Thing. So you know, a good imitator. Going on to World's Finest, which is following Huntress and Power Girl. Which is another book set in kind of Earth 2, or acknowledging it anyways, and that's issue 2 there. So Power Girl, unfortunately, still wearing that dumb costume, but whatever, there it is. Going on to Dynamite, we have The Spider. This is issue 2 from David Liss. I enjoyed the first one, enjoying this one as well. The Shadow is another book that's also really cool coming out of Dynamite. So if you like kind of noir-esque stories that are kind of still superhero central, that's definitely for you. So Morning Glory's over from Image, of course, and this is coming to us from Nick Spencer. This is issue 19. So there we go. This story arc should be winding down, so we'll kind of get to see some cool stuff happen. That's always the best part of Morning Glories, anyhow. So moving on to Thief of Thieves, this is issue 5. Will be worth well over its price tag there in a couple of weeks, as all Thief of Thieves issues have been. So cool book. Again, I'm more or less buying them to sell at this point, which is something you should never do unless you're sure you can get money back on them. So it's a great book, and you get your money back. Spawn, this is issue 220. There we have Spawn on the cover there. It might be one of my last issues of Spawn. Once the story arc ends, I think I'm done with the book for a little while. Nothing against Spawn, I just have way too many books, and Spawn's been a little inconsistent to actually continue spending money on it month to month. Going over to Marvel, we have Avengers Academy number 31. As you know, it's a book I've thoroughly enjoyed. We'll probably be tying into Avengers vs. X-Men, as we can tell by the top there. And of course, you have the Avengers Academy guys in X-Men gear, so you never know. Thunderbolts becomes the Dark Avengers this week with the first issue of a new era. This is 175, still coming to us from Jeff Parker, and that's going to be Dark Avengers. And there you have the Dark Avengers that Norman kind of brought together in the last time he kind of rose to power there. So super cool. The Thunderbolts, I guess, is pretty much wrapped up. We'll see what happens to those guys maybe at some point in this book. But other than that, super cool to have the Dark Avengers back. So Defenders, awesome cover there with Black Cat, Matt Fraction, of course, Terry Dodson. Been a super fun book. If you want a kind of quirky book, I keep saying, pick up Defenders. It's amazing. So there's that. Going over to Fury Max, another great book. This is coming to us from Ennis, of course, and Parlov. Great dialogue, violent as hell, just good times. What do you expect from a Max comic book? Going over to Invincible Iron Man, this is 518. Tony's going to come back on the scene, or at least War Machine is, if I remember correctly, and that's, of course, coming to us from Fraction. Been a super cool book. I really enjoy it. Some people on the podcast disagree with me, though. Going over to Ultimate Comics, we have issue 11. We have Miles Morales in handcuffs there, so maybe something's up with Uncle Aaron, but that's, of course, been a great book. Brian Michael Bendis. If you want to jump onto a Spider-Man book, this is definitely the one to do it. It's been great all the way so far, so keep it up, guys. And finally, we go over to Valiant for the Summer of Valiant comic books, of course. We have Harbinger. This is issue 1 here, so we'll listen to the podcast, see what I think about that one. And then Exo Manowar gets its second issue this week, so there it is. Looking forward to that. That first issue is really, really cool. So as you can tell, I have no voice. I'm quite sick. Sinuses are all filled up and stuff like that. So it was a good vacation, all said and done. So we're going to bring the podcast to you sometime earlier this week, hopefully, and talk about all of this pile of books, and then of course the pile of book that's joining us 3 days from now. So there's that. Subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the podcast, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.